Today I'm taking the island hopper flight from Marshall Islands to Micronesia. That is to go from the 3rd least visited country in the world to the 5th least visited country in the world. The island hopper is a flight from Honolulu that takes you through some of these very remote islands, finally ending in Guam. We take off for the short 30-minute flight over to Kwajalein, another island locally known as Kwaj. This is actually still within the Marshall Islands, but it's a US military base. Local people do live here as well alongside the military, but regular passengers are not allowed to get out or technically take photos. I didn't take any on the ground, but I got a few when we were coming in and out. After a short stop here, we headed on to our next destination, which is Koh Sray. This is an island within Micronesia. The island hopper only stops here about once a week, so it is a very rare place to visit. The island reminded me a lot of Jurassic Park as we were coming on our way in. You're actually allowed to get off the plane on some of these stops, so we felt like why not, and went down to the pretty simple arrival lounge. It's basically just people waiting here for their flight, so we spent about 20 minutes and then went back to get on the flight. You don't actually get stamped into Micronesia at this point. Now we take off again for another hour flight to our final destination, Pompei. Throughout our flying, we often saw these really small atolls in the middle of the ocean, and this one really stuck out to me. I just saw this tiny little island in the middle of the ocean completely surrounded by water, and I was wondering, do people actually live here? I saved the location on my map and looked it up later, and this is called Mokil Atoll, and 150 people actually do live here. There's a small village on the north end of the island where people live, and an airstrip that allows small planes to come and visit, but most people travel by ferry that comes infrequently, maybe once a month. I read some travel blogs of Peace Corps volunteers that went there, and it just seemed so amazing. Pure, pristine beauty. Our flight is now arriving into Pompei. This is where we will be getting off and spending 2 nights here, and then catching the island hopper going to Guam the next couple of days from now. The island hopper essentially runs every other day, so it can be very easy to schedule a stopover at any of these islands along the way. Cash price is something ridiculous like $2,000, but if you book it on miles, it is significantly cheaper. Overall, this has been an amazing journey through some of these extremely remote islands in the Pacific Ocean.